What's up? It's IronDrone.com, and today I'm going to be taking out my V303 Seeker by WLTOYS. Been having a few issues with it. It hasn't been very stable lately, as well as some range issues where it goes into this weird headless mode. So right now I'm going to go ahead and calibrate the compass. We want to make sure that the green light stays green the entire time while rotating it. Pull down on the left stick, flip it 3 times, go vertical, clockward motion. I don't have my camera on it, so I'm trying to figure out exactly what the problem is right now. 3 times for the green light to come on, saved in the controller, should be good to go. Got new batteries in the controller. Make sure headless and return to home are off. Very little wind today, so should be able to see how it's going to handle. So far so good, very stable. I was having some GPS issues where the motors were kicking up all different crazy times and directions trying to compensate. It's not really hovering in one spot that good, so I'll try to trim it up. And first few flights right out of the box, and this thing handled great, but now it seems to be having some issues. So now we're going too far. Okay, looks like we're good now. So we'll fly it out. This field's probably 200 feet or so. 200 yards, I'm sorry. And there it hit the weird headless mode again, so I don't have any pitch on it. Now it finally came back. It'll flash red, lose the GPS signal. So, not exactly sure why it's doing this. I've recalibrated the joystick, did it for airs. Next option is to do flash the firmware, but you have to have a Windows 7 or XP computer to do that, and I have Windows 10, so I'm not sure if it's going to work out. So for the most part, handling good. Only had one minor issue, and it got out there a little ways. And you'll notice exactly when it happens too, because it'll jolt real hard, and then it just goes dead in the air. And I've looked all over online, I can't find anything on it as to why this would be happening. Could be maybe in the calibration software. Maybe there's a range limit I'm hitting, causing it to do this. Maybe that wasn't set correctly. Take it up in the air. I really do like this one, so hopefully I can figure it out. I mean, it handled smooth for first couple days, and then after doing a couple calibrations to the compass, new locations, it's started having some issues. Today it seems to be doing a lot better. Notice when the SJ4000's on there, it's having some problems, but it's not a Wi-Fi camera, so I'm not sure what that would have to do with it. Seems that like it has some lift issues. It actually will drift down, whereas, you know, this is when you let off the stick like so, it's supposed to sit there and hover. But today, for the most part, good flight, except for obviously that one little hiccup. Just checking my lights. Everything seems to be green. And this is a really smooth flyer whenever it's dialed in correctly. And landing, it's not an issue, especially with the sensors. Run the bases with it really quick. All the motors seem to check out. Just it's puzzled by it. I was hoping it would be, you know, ready to fly out of the box like it states, but looks like there's some tweaking that I have to do to it. So I'll get it hooked up to the computer eventually. I have one old computer with Windows XP on it, and give it a shot. I tried it with Windows 10, but it couldn't read the port that it needed. Could never find it. So, and when I plug it into by USB, it also states on there. It doesn't state that it's a PL whatever chip. It states that it's a Galaxy FC, I believe. So maybe I have a newer chip in there. Maybe I have an older chip in there. Really not too sure. And so it looks like we're having a little bit of an issue here. So when it goes in this mode, I can only go sideways, which is bizarre. I can rotate, I can go sideways. That's how I got to get it back. There's no pitch. So I'm going to put it in headless mode right now. And there's no change in the light, which is weird. So headless is on, switches in the one position. That's even worse, but that's similar to what's happening when the light goes on. So I know the headless has somewhat kind of working. Haven't ever tried the return to home function, so we can try that. So return to home is on, it's going up. It's backing up to where we originally took off from. And it's coming down, so the return to home function is working fine. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Let's go back the control over it again, so I don't have any pitch. There we go. So, who knows, maybe it could be a return to home function. I took the top off. Couldn't see any errors. Everything looked really new and clean. Not that I know what I'm looking for, but did read some people said it possibly could be the transmitter, or I'm sorry, the receiver, the controller. Wires pinched, exposed. So maybe that's the next step, is taking that apart. If I can't get it to hook up to the firmware to fix it, you know, obviously I contacted the website which I bought it, which is in China, and no response there and no assistance there. So keep on testing it and see what happens. And as soon as I figure out the error, if someone knows it, you know, please do post. Really like this quadcopter and want to get it working correctly, because it looks like it'll be a good aerial photographer or videographer kind of drone. I do have a gimbal I'd like to stick on it, but not really trying to do that until we can get this issue sorted out. So I'm going to go ahead and land it. Lands nice and smooth. I mean, excellent. Other than, you know, the obvious issue that I'm having. So this is the V303 Seeker WLTOYS. You know, if this video helped you out in any way, be sure to give it a like. And like I said, if you're having this problem and you know what it is, help me solve it, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section. And if I figure out what it is, I'll be sure to post a follow-up video.